we are inside the movies controller. What I'm doing is I am adding a simple method. It's not an action method, it's a simple method. So it is going to return a list of movies. Oops. A list of movies. That's the job. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a list of movies here. The reason why I'm doing is so you understand the difference between like dependent and independent situations. This here controller is not depending on anyone else to provide the data. The controller has all the details that is needed for this particular test. So that is the difference. So new movie. Okay, so we are going to be returning the list. If there is a method like this, it is really simple to test it. We are not passing any parameters. All we are asking for is a list of movies, and the controller method already knows how to return the list. There is no external call, there is no external dependency. Our unit test can handle this really easily. So I'm going to be copying the index method to list. So we don't want it as a view result, right? Because it is not an action method. It is just as it is. We can like take it as it is. We know what it is. So we just want to be sure that when the method returns the result dot so assert dot r equal expected versus actual. Expected is expected versus actual. So arrange, so we have a controller. Act is we are calling the list of movies. Assert, we are checking the results. That is the purpose of this particular test method. Again, let's run our tests. Everybody is happy. List of movies does not have any dependency. It is not an action method. It just had no problem. The test was able to call this method and be done. It's not so easy when you look at this list from DB, right? Because here what happens is, in this situation, we have to like somehow remove the dependency on this database context class from our controller, and that way we should be able to pass the data easily. So that is where the challenge comes. But before we even go into it, let's go into this details method. Let's do this path. Let's do this path. Let's first do this path. I'll show you how to do this path, and then we'll go from there. We'll create something called index returns I'm gonna go to these are only tests that we really don't care about. So, you know, when I call this method, it has to redirect to this action. That's my goal. So let's test this index redirect method. Okay, so the question is, okay, I'm calling this index redirect. Whenever I call like a redirect method, what happens, right? So that's what we want to check. So redirect to action is going to be returning redirect to route result. So that is what we want. So here you have to say as redirect to route result. That is what has to be the object that is returned. So we specifically cast it to that object. Then we want to assert. So we want to just assert.r equal. Let's think about it. What do we want? We want the return value to be index. The view name should be index. So the view name, that is the expected value. The actual value is going to be the result dot route values. So the route value is going to have, one is the action, one is the controller. So if we just do this, let's see how this works. Okay, so we call the redirect index redirect method and we got result back. Let's look at our result route values. So route value is the parameter here. The keys here, see, keys, action, and then the value is going to be create. Sorry, so it's not index. I said index here, so it's going to fail. It's create. All good, see? It kind of went through and it's all happy because the route value is matched. Now if we want to make it a little bit more where we want to say create in home controller, it won't blow up because all we are doing is checking the values. And right now, when we write the test, we think about which controller should this be part of. So that is where, if we have not even created a controller called home controller with a method called create, that won't come in the unit testing. That will only come in the integration testing. See, again, all good.